The BJP's Sulk Club is growing. Rising in revolt as the big 2014 battle draws near. Advani caved in, but not before he made his point. But Jaswant Singh is standing his ground and refusing to budge. He carried out his dare today, filing his nomination papers and triggering at least 2 more rebellions by senior leaders, one in Rajasthan and the other in Madhya Pradesh.
मुझे लगता है भारतीय जनता पार्टी अपने आप में इस परीक्षा में उतरने में कमजोरी जता रही है।
जिन नेताओं ने दशकों लगा दिए इस पार्टी के लिए, उनकी नजरअंदाजी इस तरह हो रही है, मुझे लगता है कि ये कंप्लीट टेकओवर है।
The BJP is now in a fierce crisis. Its old guard's defiance has triggered many mutinies. It was the day when Jaswant Singh carried out his final dare, filing his nomination as an independent candidate from Barmer, but refusing to resign from the party, complicating matters for it. A cornered BJP decided to wait and watch, giving him time until the 29th of March to withdraw his nomination. But Jaswant Singh pulled no punches, addressing a packed rally and blaming the BJP's senior leaders directly.
नियमित रूप से वो चोट पहुंचाने वाले एक तो बीजेपी के केंद्रीय अध्यक्ष हैं श्री राजनाथ सिंह, और वो मेरे साथ ये दूसरी बार चोट कर रहे हैं.
And he has reasons for blaming Rajnath Singh. It was the current BJP president who had expelled him in 2009 for writing a book on Jinnah.
इसमें मुझे हनुमान बताया गया उस कार्टून में. आज हनुमान से मैं रावण हो जाऊं, दुख तो होता ही है.
But Jaswant Singh isn't the only one. A few miles away in Sikar district, the former Union Minister Subhash Maharia dared the BJP at the Sarv Samaj Mahapanchayat.
पंचायत के निर्णय के सामने मैं भी कोई चीज नहीं हूं. महापंचायत ने जब निर्णय दे दिया तो 26 तारीख को जो मुझे अभी कागज लिख के दिया है, सीकर के रिटर्निंग ऑफिसर के पास नामांकन होगा.
In Madhya Pradesh, another senior leader promised to spoil Narendra Modi's campaign. Angry after being denied a Lok Sabha ticket from Buxar, four-time MP Lalmuni Chaube declared his independent candidacy.
मैं चुनाव लड़ूंगा, निर्दल लड़ूंगा. मैं भाजपा के खिलाफ करूंगा. नरेंद्र मोदी हो चाहे कोई खड़ा.
Raging mutinies within the BJP are more than just anger of ticket hopefuls being denied. It is about the old guard still refusing to accept decisions imposed by a modified regime. And it could hurt the BJP's prospects more than it may like, too close to the polls. With camera person Nikhil Sharma, Devankur Vadhavan in Barmer for Headlines Today.
Jaswant Singh is the lone rebel standing. Others bowed down, caved into pressure, but he is standing his ground and will contest as an independent member. I want to now get you some excerpts from an interview we recorded earlier in the day with the BJP stalwart.
No, I think the same rule of life, I don't think it's a rule of life, but it is an ordinary application of certain criteria in party discipline. It applies to everybody, not just to me. And it applies to the leadership too, because they have to have just consideration of issues. If the leadership goes awry and takes decisions that are completely out of order, then I believe it's the duty of the members of the party to point those mistakes out. And, adherence to party discipline is not an advocacy of some kind of totalitarianism. Patch up? What do you mean patch up? If you just told me that the BJP seems to have made up his mind, well, fair enough. That's for the BJP to announce what mind they have made up. I have announced my determination to contest from Barmer, Jaisalmer, which is my home. Loyalty is a two-way traffic. Thank you for reminding me that I'm from the armed forces. Many generations of my family have served the armed forces. Indeed, my son still continues to be an officer of the army. For you to teach us about loyalty and about, no, please refrain, don't teach me that. I'm quite capable of making a distinction between what is loyalty and what is not, and what is obedience, and where even military must stand up and say, no sir, you're wrong. I don't know what the attack is more rare and where it is less. I'm not aware of what Mr. Modi, as Chief Minister of Gujarat or as a member of the Central Election Committee, as what role he has played in this decision. But if he has had a role to play, then it's an incorrect decision. Because you cannot have a member of the Congress party who till a few months back was a member of the Congress party, contested against the BJP, lost to BJP, and is now projected by the party over the heads of anybody else. No, he's the candidate, now go and behave. The party is not an automaton. This is not an example of democratic, equal functioning of the party. It's really a kind of hidden totalitarianism. No, accept it or else. I cannot subscribe to that. And therefore, I filed my nomination. The party is free to do what it likes.
At a time when the BJP believes that there is a buzz around its campaign, that it is all set to form the next government in Delhi, the old guard rising in literal revolt against the modified BJP reflects rather poorly on the current functioning within the party. Joining us on the center stage face-off tonight, Shiv Vishwanathan, one of India's foremost political analysts, Shaina NC representing the BJP, Sanjay Jha from the Congress, and Madhu Kishwar, political analyst. I want to go across first to Shaina NC because what we're seeing is really casting serious questions on the BJP campaign. Everyone believes that the Narendra Modi juggernaut is marching towards victory, but at that time, whether it is a Sushma Swaraj, an LK Advani, a Murli Manohar Joshi, a Lalji Tandon, or now a Jaswant Singh being treated in the way that they are, does this not send, Shaina, a very poor message about how the party or the current leadership is treating the old guard?
Rahul, let me start by saying that the BJP clearly believes in a philosophy which is nation first, the party next, and individual last. Now, if the parliamentary board and the election committee has a thought process or an agenda in mind with political strategy based purely on winnability, sometimes you have to give way to new and do away with old. This does not mean you're dismissing anyone or disrespecting anyone, but in an atmosphere when you have to facilitate 500 odd candidates and there are over 5 lakh expectations or aspirants, clearly some people will be disappointed, some people will appreciate getting a chance or an opportunity. Now, I think that one needs to also understand that in this current scenario, yes, Jaswant Singh ji is our senior leader and he is from Barmer, but he's never contested from them. He's contested from Darjeeling, he's contested from Chittorgarh, and clearly if the party does take a stand, we are all disciplined, loyalists,
not just
and
about the winnability criteria, Shaina. What is at play over here is much bigger. An attempt is being made to ensure that there is no other power center to Narendra Modi. That anyone who could have posed a psychological roadblock to the Modi juggernaut is being shifted out.
Please let me complete.
Yes, ma'am.
Please let me complete. When you have a huge election such as this, 2014 is not just about winning, it's about winning with huge numbers, and the aspirants are bound to be multifold and many, and everyone would feel that they are the best and the most suited. Now, I would like to only say that how do you give space in a large organization to a new breed or a new cadre or a youth cadre? irrespective, this is just something I'd like to debate, and we need to give our leadership the authority and the parliamentary board and the election committee to sit and analyze and weigh the pros and cons and take the party forward in a progressive way. Now, in that, if there are bound to be some people who are happy with decisions, some who are unhappy with decisions, and I would only appeal that when there is a political strategy in place, you need to give your leader the absolute command to decide what would be the leadership strategy or what would be the
No,
political
but absolute
strategy.
command
And that's what we've given to the
absolute
parliamentary
command is
board
something that scares
with
a lot of
Rajnath
people,
Singh ji,
and that's the concern.
No,
that there is
this
absolute
the
command being given to a handful of people, raising serious concerns about
think
what
that
this
assessment
portends
is
for
wrong.
the future. I want to go across to Shiv Vishwanathan. Arun Jaitley put out a blog where he says that party's given you privileges in the past. Now if you don't get a ticket, grin and bear it with a smile. Shaina NC says winnability is what matters. If the party takes a decision, then Jaswant Singh, who's had the fruits of power, should also accept that now he's not getting a ticket and must not create this spectre of revolt. Shiv Vishwanathan.
See, I think I see it in a more human way. The BJP, which saw itself as an impersonal machine, suddenly looks like a human organism. And in fact, it's a very Indian fable of people trying to behave as if the party is the family and the family itself becomes a kind of party. And in this context, I think it's quite fascinating. But I think what is interesting is the BJP is a very disciplined party. For some of the top people in the party to challenge the discipline of the party indicates that there might be deeper tensions. And I think this is something we have to wait and watch for. Is Narendra Modi cannibalizing the party? Or is it merely a normal transition from old to new? I think the question is an open one. But I think it is interesting to watch the way people over-rationalize this. I think there are deep tensions, and I think we should see how he handles them.
Okay, you're raising a question about whether the party is being cannibalized, whether this reflects a deeper rift. One after another, Madhu Kishwar, senior leaders, those who've played a role in building the party, now feel they're being shafted and given the short end of the stick.
See, firstly, everybody has to recognize that everyone has a use-by date. Now, when you say senior, what does it mean? Can they win elections on their own steam? No. If Vasundhara Raje, who led the battle and gave the party a resounding victory in Rajasthan, resurrected it from its own mess, then I would be worried. And then I would say, oh, is Narendra Modi overwhelming all others? But that's not the case. If Manohar Parrikar in Goa were to be ridden roughshod over, because he is the one who's delivering victories, I would be worried. Similarly, if Mr. Chauhan in Madhya Pradesh, none of them
But Vasundhara Raje has a grudge with
for
Jaswant
good
Singh.
reasons, because when she was battling to resurrect the party, was Jaswant Singh helping her or only needling her? Did he help her at all win that battle? Vasundhara deserves to have a say because she really did a brave job for the BJP. And if she were bypassed, then you have every reason to say that Mr. Modi is as though overwhelming everybody, is becoming, but that's not the case. All these people who are going to actually win in their respective states are getting due say. But these people who can't win their municipal election on their own steam have not done so. They are the one poking Modi all the time. I mean, look at
Sanjay
Sushma Swaraj. Could she have led the party to even 80 seats? No. Could Mr. Jaswant Singh lead the party to even 50 seats? No. Can he even win his own seat without the support of Vasundhara Raje's party machinery in Rajasthan? No.
When you've got a winning ticket like Narendra Modi, the party needs to polarize around his personality, and that's only the natural thing, Sanjay, to happen when there is a generational shift that happens. The Congress has had similar problems when Sanjay Gandhi took charge, similar problems when Rajiv Gandhi took charge, is facing similar problems now when a lot of the old guard are feeling worked up about the way things are being restructured by Rahul Gandhi, and therefore it's natural in the Congress they don't dare speak up. Over here, because it's a more democratic party, they're allowed to speak up, and therefore that dissent comes out in the public. The Congress has its own problems, doesn't it, Sanjay?
Rahul, I don't agree with that. If you look at this particular election, you'll find that the Bharatiya Janata Party has
talk
actually
about the Congress,
ceased to
Sanjay.
exist. it's been completely subsumed by Mr. Narendra Modi's personality. And nothing is more a better manifestation of the fact that it's not just one leader, it's not a sporadic development. It's with a series of leaders there, and it's gone to the point where Mr. Jaswant Singh today and yesterday has repeated that there is an asli BJP and
why
there is
aren't you
a
talking
nakli
about the
BJP.
Congress?
And I think
he asked you about your
That's a
party,
statement.
that you don't
Can
have
I-
somebody worth
Rahul, can I
subsuming
speak
even.
without being interrupted?
Go on,
but
Sanjay,
answer.
complete your
Rahul,
argument.
can I speak without being interrupted? Yeah. So my point is that today what you're witnessing is the fact that within the BJP, these are internal conversions that are sending out a message that there is a personality cult. The RSS is the dominant factor, and they have appointed Mr. Modi as the prime ministerial candidate. And between the two, they will take the real calls. If you notice, when they had a problem with Mr. Advani, Mr. Modi's first meeting, a powwow, was happening with Mr. Mohan Bhagwat of the RSS. So I think it's very clear at the moment that, you know, there is a direction that the BJP has taken, but I think the mask is off the face, that this whole development issue is gone to the background, and I hope you'll discuss it at some point today. The entire Varanasi, that Har Har Modi episode.
We're coming to that
reveals
separately.
The hard
I'm coming to that separately. But the point that you're making, and I want China NC to respond to that it's now a one-man show. That if you are in sync with Narendra Modi's plans, then you have a leg in. If you're not in sync with Narendra Modi's plan, that's the end of your presence in the BJP. Is that not scary from the BJP's own prospects? Or do you think that if you need to be in command and in control, you need one person who's in charge and everyone needs to rally around him? Shaina NC.
I think what you're about to suggest, as if to say it's a one-man dictatorship, is absolute nonsense. Please understand that we clearly believe, including Mr. Modi, that the party is above any individual. And Mr. Sanjay Jha just now sounds like some kind of a political critique, making an analysis on the BJP without even understanding that his own house is ready to sink. I think that less said about the Congress, the better it is. But as far as the BJP goes, we have our systems in place. We are not just seeking a mandate on leadership, which is extremely imperative in the current scenario in the country. The way the Congress has taken us to literally shambles vis-a-vis corruption, we do need to have a strong leader. And we are not just asking for a vote on his leadership or his political will. We are asking for this leadership because it's coupled with stability and progress.
No, but you're not answering my question.
I don't see why
Shaina, the question is this.
Yeah, I'm coming
While
to
of course there is a development plan, there's no going away from it. There is also a personality cult which seems to be engulfing the BJP. That's the charge that Sanjay Jha levels. That's the charge critics of the BJP level. How do you respond to that charge?
This is not something that can be decided or determined by you and me. It's the voter of this country that has chosen.
There is a difference. There is a difference. There can be a personality cult. The personality cult can be very popular, but a popular mandate does not take away the presence of a personality cult. I just want to bring in Shiv Vishwanathan. Just 1 second.
I challenge you on
One
this
by one.
personality cult.
I don't want everyone speaking at the same time. 1 second. I know there are channels that like that. I don't like it. Let's just speak one at a time so that everyone makes sense and our viewers can assimilate what is being said. I want to go across to Shiv Vishwanathan. Just 1 second. I'm coming to you, Shaina, because you're not answering my question. You're going off on a tangent, and therefore on my question, I want to go across to Shiv Vishwanathan. Shiv Vishwanathan, is a personality cult engulfing the BJP? Mr. Vishwanathan, I'm coming back to you, Shaina.
See, Modi seems to be an overwhelming personality. But I think to a certain extent the BJP, which seemed to be a party of pracharaks, is a one-man show run by the RSS. I think what we have to understand is there's a poignancy to it. You see an old guard disappearing, and in fact old soldiers not only refusing to die but refusing to fade away. I think there's a poignancy to the story. Let's not turn all parties into machines. The more important question is this an act of indifference by Modi to the older guard? If that is so, then I think we are looking at a certain attempt of Modi to dominate the party completely and maybe lethally.
Completely and lethally is the point that you make, Madhu Keshwar. Let's just assume for a moment that these seniors don't fit into Team Modi's plans for this election. Should a greater attempt not be made to ensure that they're all part of the same team, they all feel involved and they're all pushing in the same direction?
Two things. One, they don't want to be part of teamwork. They want to have veto power. Each one of them is saying, my way or highway. Each one of them are sticking in that manner. Not Modi. He's not spoken a word, number one. He's the only one fighting out in the field, mobilizing support. Why are all these people, if they are so great, if they are such veteran leaders, why aren't they out in the field mobilizing people? It's he who's doing all the donkey work. Each one of them is taking pot shots at him. He has never responded once. He has not demanded a veto. If, as I said, Vasundhara Raje or Manohar Parrikar felt that they had no say in the candidate selection in their respective states where they have to bring victory to BJP candidates, then this charge would make sense. These old horses want veto power. Barmer is one of the most classic examples. His real fight is with Vasundhara. Now why is he taking pot shots at Modi? Because that's how he gets media attention and he becomes a martyr. And he doesn't deserve to be a martyr simply because, as Shaina just pointed out, he's never fought from Barmer.
Is that not a fair argument?
Where does this love for Barmer come? Why is he not talking about his conflicts with Vasundhara? And he has never helped her. She fought a lone battle under adverse circumstances. Why are we not talking about
Sanjay Jha, is this not fair criticism of the old guard? That a lot of these stalwarts would not even win a ward election, let alone a Lok Sabha election, if it had not been for Modi's presence, if it not had been for the support that they get from the local BJP state unit. That these leaders are, frankly, several of them at least, past their use-by date.
Well, Rahul, this is the BJP's own internal assessment on which candidate can bring in what power into the election. But the fundamental point is, if you look at, I'll take an example of a leader like Sushma Swaraj, for instance. Now, when somebody who's the leader of the opposition in parliament, and we all know, we may not be following the British convention, but it is deemed to be like a shadow prime minister's position. So even if he is not your chosen candidate, it's a highly exalted, respected status. And look at the fact that Sushma Swaraj has to go and tweet, which I believe is a public confession of a serious private turmoil within the party. Then she has to go and defend Mr. Jaswant Singh in another election campaign. What does it tell you? That there is a serious communication breakdown. If the BJP pretends at the moment that all is hunky-dory, good luck to them. But I think the country is watching that Mr. Narendra Modi's style of leadership, as Shiv said, a very authoritarian and autocratic way of functioning, is clearly created a serious revolt. And I can tell you, all the senior leaders have their own many people in the BJP down the ranks that even I know of who will revolt tomorrow if for example, all of them were to, collectively perhaps voice their protest.
You seem more gleeful about the Congress's woe than of the BJP's woes than the deep trouble the Congress itself is in. But that's a different matter. The independent rebels are not Modi's only worry. Another problem is a chant that's being put out by some of the more enthusiastic supporters of Narendra Modi. Har Har Modi, Ghar Ghar Modi. A modification of a popular chant in praise of Lord Shiva, which has angered many saints. An unholy controversy rages with Hindu seers and political rivals slamming this chant. And despite Modi himself appealing against its use, his supporters in Varanasi are in no mood to listen.
Hara Hara Modi! Hara Hara Modi! Hara Hara Modi!
Har Har Modi, Ghar Ghar Modi will continue in Varanasi, despite the RSS not wanting it, despite the BJP not wanting it, despite Narendra Modi himself not wanting it.
आध्यात्मिक क्षेत्र में हम हर हर महादेव बोलते हैं और राजनीतिक क्षेत्र में हम अपने नेता को जयकारा लगाते हैं, हर हर महादेव कहते हैं, हर हर मोदी बोलते हैं, जन जन मोदी बोल रहे हैं, मन मन मोदी बोल रहे हैं, तो नारे लग रहे हैं, लोग अपने अपने ढंग से लोग नारे गढ़ रहे हैं, कोई कव्वाली गा रहा है, कोई होली गा रहा है.
The controversy over the slogan broke out when Shankaracharya of Dwarka Peeth Swarupanand Saraswati complaint to the RSS. His objection? The slogan, which is a play on Har Har Mahadev, Ghar Ghar Mahadev, promotes the worship of an individual.
काशी को भगवान शंकर की राजधानी माना जाता है। वहाँ के राजा भगवान शंकर हैं और इसलिए वहाँ पर जो भी नारा लगता है वह हर हर महादेव का लगता है। तो ये मोदी के साथ जो जोड़ा जा रहा है, तो आप मोदी को ईश्वर मान रहे हैं। ये जो प्रवृत्ति है ये धर्म विरुद्ध है।
Shortly afterwards, Modi tweeted a request to his supporters to stop using the chant. But that didn't stop his political rivals from hitting out and even calling him anti-Hindu.
वहां के नारे को हर हर महादेव को हर हर मोदी कर दिया। इससे बड़ा अपमान हम लोगों का और कौन हो सकता है। मैं आभारी हूँ श्रद्धेय शंकराचार्य जी का, जो उन्होंने इस बात को मोहन भागवत जी तक बात पहुंचाई।
अरे भाई, हर हर मोदी बीजेपी का कोई नारा था क्या? दिग्विजय सिंह को अगर इतनी अकल नहीं है, वो इतनी उनकी जानकारी नहीं है, तो फिर तो उनको जो है वो एक बार पूरी तरह से पूरे इतिहास और पूरे के पूरी जो ज़मीन का सच्चाई है उसको देखना चाहिए। ये कोई बीजेपी का अधिकृत नारा नहीं था।
Sorry, no offense meant to anyone, but we will continue with our slogan. That is what the local BJP workers in Varanasi are telling Modi. So for now, this political chant will still continue to ring in the holy city. With camera person Deepak Kumar, this is Rohit Singh in Varanasi for Headlines Today.
Is it okay for BJP's enthusiastic supporters to be chanting Har Har Modi, Ghar Ghar Modi? I want to go across to Shiv Vishwanathan first. Narendra Modi has publicly distanced himself from the chant. That's not stopping any of his supporters. There is also the entire symbolism that's been built around Lord Shiva. Do you think it's okay for the supporters of Modi to be building on this chant, sir?
See, supporters can be crassly enthusiastic, but when you use a slogan like this, to a certain extent you're deifying the person. Look at the contrast. At one level, you're turning Modi into an almost godlike figure. At another level, you're referring to the rest of the politicians and saying, use by date. Use by date is okay for medicines, but not for people. Look at the contrast. At one level, an attempt to dehumanize certain people in a certain way. At another level, an attempt to create a godlike figure. I think we have to be careful of both.
That's very interesting. And China NC must respond. Dehumanize the old guard and create a godlike cult around Modi. China NC.
I don't subscribe to both, and I don't think that we're, creating a godlike figure out of Modi ji. And I think that he himself has tweeted and said exactly what he believes, which is that this enthusiasm needs to be shown with restraint, and please do not chant this slogan. You must understand, Rahul, that in an election of this magnitude, there are people singing songs, there are people chanting slogans, there are people writing comics about Modi ji, there are people who are, creating docu-films, there are people who have written their poetry vis-a-vis, stories narrated by Modi ji and his childhood. So I think this enthusiasm is part and parcel of an election, but it is the leader's prerogative to decide where he needs to draw the line, and he has done just that. He has not just tweeted, he has informed all the cadre of the party that we are not to be using this even in a moment of enthusiasm, which I think is something that you need to absolutely give it to him. That he is
Narendra Modi has been very reasonable about this. It's not as if he is encouraging his supporters to go out and chant Har Har Modi, Ghar Ghar Modi. If somebody does it, surely he can't be blamed for it, and he's taken a public position now saying that he doesn't want his supporters to do so. Therefore, does the controversy end there, Sanjay Jha?
Rahul, I think this tweet was extremely tactical and to a great extent disingenuous. I know for a fact that the UP president of the BJP, Mr. Lakshmikant Bajpayee, I think, has gone on record to say that the Har Har Modi, whatever campaign they're using, has been on since October of 2013. It's 6 months. For 6 months, Mr. Modi and the entire BJP would be aware of what is being talked about in the various public programs that have been held. So if anybody believes that he suddenly woke up to realize after the Dwarka Shankaracharya ji protested, and you have had a lot of people there protesting against it, I think we are being extremely charitable to the BJP here. So
just one by one, Madhu Kishwar.
There is an
it was
attempt at religious
planted. Just one by one. Obviously,
and that's
somebody planted the idea. It's not as if the chant was created. It's been on for several weeks. We've been hearing it. We don't know if it's October 2013, but we've been hearing this for a while. And now, is it okay for him to distance himself? Just one by one, Madhu Kishwar.
See, I have 5 points to make.
5 points. Yes.
Number one, nobody objected when same Shankaracharya ji called Sonia Gandhi Sita Mata. I mean, none of them did. Even I didn't. ठीक है, उसके लिए सीता ये हो सकती है, बाकियों के लिए नहीं.
Are you calling him a Congress Shankaracharya?
He is. He's called Sarkari Shankaracharya. I hold him in respect. I've worked with him on the Ganga Save Ganga campaign. But that's not. He's known as a Sarkari Shankaracharya and a Congress, and he's very close to Digvijay Singh, and they work in close coordination. That's number one. Secondly, let's also not forget these locally evolved slogans and activism that's coming with Modi. Nothing is said. For example, I'm supporting Modi. Do you think I would ever take directions from him if he were to tell me not to tweet this, not to tweet that? I'll say, mind your business. I'm supporting you on certain issues. I don't take dictates from you. None of these NAMO for PM group, none of these Modi support groups are taking any directions. Some of them are functioning well, some of them are going out of bounds. Some people think even I am a bit wild, but I refuse to be tamed even by Narendra Modi. Similarly, these local people are saying, it's like Jai Ganesh and you say Jai Hind, or you say Jai Rahul Gandhi ki Jai Ho.
No, it's not that simple. There is there's a deeper meaning here. You're almost making him seem like a godlike figure.
अरे हुसैन ने दुर्गा पेंट किया था इंदिरा गांधी को. Did we go wild? Durga. Hussain painted Indira
That's
Gandhi.
An important point. Let Sanjay Jha respond. Yes.
And what I'm saying is Har Har means like Kalyan. Okay. Like Jai,
Rahul,
it's a generic term.
Rahul, let me tell
you. No, it's not. The chant is in the context of Har Har Mahadev.
So is Jai Ganesh. So is Jai everything. This is not, it's not as if these two words don't exist apart from each other.
Okay, that's very debatable. Let Sanjay Jha come in and respond. One by one, please.
And Hindu dharma ki monopoly Shankaracharya ji ki bhi nahi hai aur meri bhi nahi hai.
Don't monopolize your presence in the studio. Give others a fair chance. Yes, Sanjay.
Yeah, Rahul, I believe Mr. Modi has been going to town over the last 6-7 months talking about development. I think the Mukhauta is finally off his face. The mask is off. I think the choice of Varanasi, which is a great religious, a sanctified city, a temple city of India, which has got a multi-religious hue. But what you're finding is it's being used to actually create a religious polarization message that is, I think, brazenly being played out today. I think the reason why this has exploded on the issue of Har Har Modi, 1 minute, is because it just justifies, Madhu, what I said earlier. There is a personality cult. You have now taken him to the
personality
status of God
cult
himself.
Hasn't worked.
I mean, you can't go so extreme.
You
can't be so strident, and you can't be so irrational in your opposition to Mr. Modi.
It is not orchestrated by him. Here, BJP is not building personality cult. Media has demonized Modi. People are celebrating a leader, and you don't know what to do.
But Sanjay, the reality is, this particular Shankaracharya is known to work very closely, particularly with Digvijay Singh, and Digvijay Singh also accepts it, not taking anything away from him being a Shankaracharya. But the fact that he's the one who's raised this point, several people might actually say it's not objectionable, that the chant itself is not particularly objectionable. Sanjay?
You know, Rahul, the truth is that it's not. The truth is that there has been a protest against this entire sloganeering of Har Har Modi by several sections of people. In fact, it's the Aam Admi of Uttar Pradesh, of Varanasi, who's felt extremely disillusioned in the manner in which the BJP has been trying to exploit a religious and a very, a sacrosanct issue into a political theme.
Indira Gandhi as Durga is fine. Indira is fine. Indira is fine.
Okay.
I think the Shankaracharya has a bigger role to play.
Hussain painted Indira Gandhi as
and said Indira is India.
Yes. as Indira, as Durga, and then there were several in the Congress who said Indira is India, India is Indira.
वो ठीक है.
If the Congress didn't have an objection with that, is it okay to have an objection with Har Har Modi, Shiv Vishwanathan?
I don't see how two wrongs make a right.
Wrong?
If the Congress behaves in an act of... Look, let's be very clear. I think BJP and Congress are bad for each other. They seem to justify bad behavior by saying the other one does it. It's not that. I think certain kinds of languages can stay outside, can be kept aesthetic. Let's leave them outside the language of politics. It's a pretty simple thing. And if the BJP agrees, that's fine. But, you know, to justify it by saying the Congress does it is no justification.
Wrong with Indira being painted Durga, I'm saying. She was popularly perceived as Durga, and that's why MF Hussain did so. And I am not saying it was wrong. All I'm trying to say is popular perception leads to certain image creations. Nobody in BJP has called Modi Har Har anything. Nobody in BJP has given the slogan.
Absolutely.
Modi himself is distancing himself.
Yes, Shaina, quickly, I'm out of time.
What's the problem?
20 seconds.
I just want to make one point. You know, people chanting, people singing songs is entirely the creation of public itself. None of this has been orchestrated by Mr. Modi or by the BJP. And if there is a sensitivity and sentiment attached, I think you need to see the humility of Mr. Modi, where he's immediately gone on record saying, please don't chant this. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but please hold it. Now, if he was a megalomaniac who was enjoying this, he would have just turned a blind eye and said, this is one of the many things that is going on.
I think that's
so
fair.
I think you need
and
to
that must be the final
assess
word
it
on our
fairly.
debate tonight. If Narendra Modi were actually encouraging people to go out and chant Har Har Modi, Ghar Ghar Modi, that would have been problematic. I have serious discomfort with any chants that equate Indira to India and India to Indira,
That,
and similarly suggest that Modi can take
But
the
Durga,
space
Indira
of Lord
is
Shiva.
Durga?
Both those are problematic for sure. I want to end this program over here. Sanjay Jha, Shaina NC, Shiv Vishwanathan, and also Madhu Keshwar for joining us in Center Stage tonight. Thank you very much.